As cryptocurrencies approach mass adoption, it's critical you do not ignore reporting your digital assets. Yes, your cryptocurrencies. And I know a few years back it was, being anonymous, but that is not the case anymore. The landscape is changing fast, and I want to share with you some resources that I hope you will find valuable. I'm Joanna Garzilli. This is Crypto Angel Network. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, your likes, and of course, your comments. I love receiving those. And know that if you receive some WhatsApp message and saying about investing, that's not me. That's a scammer. I always do personal replies. So let's get into taxes. I recently did my taxes. Thankfully, they were accepted. I used TurboTax. And when I got to I love TurboTax, by the way. I'm a raving fan of it. I've used it for several years. When I got to the part on having to report for cryptocurrencies, I was slightly floored. I looked at how to put the transactions in, and it was very, very challenging. And I like to think of myself as relatively computer literate. And then I came across a fantastic resource, CoinTracker, and I want to show you inside CoinTracker. And I also want to make you aware of certain other things in relationship to the IRS that are very, very, very important. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. Let me just do that. Share screen. Here we go. Now, of course, I'm not an accountant and a tax professional. This is just my personal crypto journey here and things that I am finding that are working well for me. I have hired a number of tax professionals in the past over the years for my business in spiritual coaching as an author. And one of the biggest things I learned is that sticking my head in the sand, and especially because I'm originally from the UK, I'm now a US citizen, but my mindset was, oh, well, because I'm British, I don't need to understand any of this tax stuff. And then when I did do tax filing, I just handed it off to professionals and I didn't educate myself. And unfortunately, that cost me hundreds and in some cases thousands of dollars because of poor advice. I just wanted to be done with it. It was painful. Oh, taxes, don't want to deal with it. That was a big mistake. So after I went through a series of disastrous accountants, I decided to empower myself and take matters into my own hands. And that's when I started using TurboTax. And then through TurboTax, I came across CoinTracker. And I feel that CoinTracker for me, it's been amazing because I went through a 48-hour period where I could not figure out how to enter all the transactions because I didn't have a huge amount of crypto transactions, but every time you send, receive, not even sell, you're just doing some type of movement with your cryptocurrency. That is a reportable tax event. And if you don't report it, there are serious consequences. And I'm going to show you why in a moment. So let me just walk you through the basics here. And I'm going to do a separate video. I have a separate video coming, which is all about capital gains. That is really important as well. So just from where we are right now, you can see we're in my portfolio and I'm going to show you a couple of different things, but what's really, really important here is where you see the price, the holdings, the cost basis, net deposits, net proceeds, all-time total return. This information gets imported straight into TurboTax. Now, that's what I'm using. That what works for me. CoinTracker would work with something else. There are also other services similar to CoinTracker that would work with TurboTax or any other tax filing system, I would imagine as well. But this is just what I have used and I have had a good experience with. And another reason why I really love CoinTracker is because Coinbase Ventures invested into CoinTracker. So I just figure Coinbase is absolutely massive. they're not going to invest into a product that isn't phenomenal. So that was my reasoning around that. But my return, well, not but, thankfully, my tax return was successfully accepted. No red flags at all. So that was really, really good. Cost basis here. For example, with Bitcoin, this was the average of what I bought it for. So my cost basis is $3,357.68. And it shows that I hold $4,863.48, which gives me a 12.98% profit. So that means that the tax that I would have due here is $1,988.85. If I go into, let me go up here and just show you, let's see. I'm going to go to taxes, to the tax center, and just to give you a little bit of a better idea. But what happens is, so I did this from the year before. You can't see my numbers from this year, but it will show, it puts into all these categories, which every single one has to be reported on your 1040. I think it's form 894. Let me just triple check. Hang on. Let me just tell you what that form is so that I can be specific with you here and go to my notes. Hang on, bear with me. Form 8949. 8949, and you attach the Schedule 1 to it. The great thing is when you go through TurboTax, you don't have to figure all these things out. It guides you through. It guides you through that, which is really, really good. But on that form, it's going to ask you, did you receive airdrops? Even if you don't make money from something, like I said before, it is a taxable event. You have here forks, mining, staking, payments, right? So this is important. Now here you can see so far from my sales this year, it only shows $299 in income, but that's because I'm holding everything else. And like I said, I'm going to talk specifically about capital gains in a separate video from this. But I wanted you to just see that what you do is you add your wallets in here, and that's where everything gets put in one place. So you can see that I have Coinbase Pro, I have Binance US, Coinbase, and Bittrex, and it syncs everything. It just shows, I mean, it's just really, really, it just puts everything in a super nice alignment. And then on a day-to-day, you get to see how is your portfolio doing? What is the change in the price? Is it up? Is it down? So right now my portfolio is plus 96.43%. A good day. On another day, I have actually a video for you on crypto mindset, and that is going to be for when the markets are down. I think you will find really helpful. Here, this is important. See all transactions, right? So all these transactions here, every single one of these transactions that has come in from these exchanges, it gets put in one place, and there's pages of transactions, because when we go here to the tax center, let me just come back to this. Hang on. Oh, here it is. Okay, look, if I go here to the tax plan, and this is totally worth it, because you don't want to mess this stuff up. Trust me, last thing you want, once you get in a thing where you can't get on the phone with someone from the IRS, or if you do, it takes hours and hours to get through. You just want to make sure that tax return is done properly, especially with digital assets, because they are looking for people to make examples of. So here you can see it says, for example, if you have under 200 transactions, it's free with 25 transactions, and 1,000 transactions are included on premium. You see, so far this year, and I haven't even done a huge amount, I have 186 transactions. So and we're only in March, so I know I'm going to end up having to get the premium for this. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Now, there's also here under performance, they have that is also another feature, like I said here with this, which is around, I have the one that is $14 a month. And I just like to be able to know, what is my overall gains? Because, for example, on Bitcoin, most of it I have in Coinbase Pro, but I have a little bit in Binance US, and it's just nice to be able to see the total amount of Bitcoin I have. So moving on from this, let me just show you what is really, really important here. The IRS has begun sending letters to virtual currency owners advising them to pay back taxes, file amended returns as part of an agency's larger effort. You do not want to ignore this. They have a very specific campaign, which is the IRS. It's called the IRS letter 617 for in currency enforcement program. And you don't, if you think you can go under the radar, because I've heard certain crypto influencers, experts out there say, just get a VPN, do stuff in a different country. The IRS have nodes on the exchanges, it's out there. They're tracking everything, and they are making examples of people. This is not going away. I mean, there are some serious fines with this. I want you to be careful. It says the IRS sent out more than, and this was from 2019, they sent out over more than 10,000 of these letters to many early Coinbase customers, not just suspected tax cheats. So first of all, what will happen is they'll give you maybe you're not a letter that says, maybe you're not aware that you have to report whether you made money or you didn't make money. And then the next letter that comes is, if you're hiding stuff, or you think you're not going to report those digital assets, they'll say, look, we know that you have transactions that you've done and you need to report. And if you ignore this, well, then, I mean, it's just going to escalate from there. And like I said at the beginning, you will end up having penalties. You can have your assets frozen. And then that money that you've made, poof, it's going to be gone. So you just don't want to have to deal with that. And so it's important to be able to make the process easy for yourself. So this is really, really important. I encourage you to go to the IRS website and take a look, but also TurboTax is a fantastic resource. If you go, and let me just take a moment here with this, and let me just go hang on a second. Let me just, because I didn't pull that link up. TurboTax digital assets. Something should come up here. You've got tax tips for Bitcoin, and look, TurboTax makes it easier for Coinbase customers to report. I mean, this is slightly, again, this stuff has been here for a while, but I'm just telling you, the IRS are hotting it up because more and more people are coming onto the exchanges. So this is just so nice. It syncs really, really easily. And what I like about in TurboTax is that it's simple to have TurboTax work with the CoinTracker and to go through that process here over at the tax center, right? So CoinTracker has those two separate features. One is for doing your taxes, where you can go for doing for each year. And then you also have the performance tracking as well. So you have been warned. Beware. If you think, maybe I should be reporting, or should I? If you have some doubt there, just know that you're not taking the right action. So please get on top of this. Don't let this be something that comes back and causes you a lot of issues. Just take care of it, because it'll just be worth it in the long run. And my hope is that CoinTracker is a valuable resource for you. I have put my affiliate link in the video, and that just means that I get savings on my CoinTracker software, which I love. and I'm using. So hopefully then it's a win-win. And of course, ultimately, do your own due diligence, do what feels right for you, because I am not a tax professional. So please go ahead, leave me your comments, and let's have a conversation around this, around digital assets and taxation. What have you gone through with that? What do you want to know? And I look forward to that. So I'm Joanna Garzilli. This is Crypto Angel Network. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, and I am sending you lots of love.